Well, I'm on a lunch break. Okay, where are we looking here? Yeah, I'm on a lunch break. And today was my day number 3 of hands-on training in the machine. And I'm getting more and more confident every day. Of course, making mistakes. So the funny thing happened. All other students, they rotate. Like, let's say today they work on an excavator or train, then tomorrow they train on a dozer, right? Because they have all these. So every day is different, right? For me, it's since I only took the 3-week course on one machine I'm taking. So it's always the loader, right? And we go in the morning for this pre-training meeting, and you see your name on the board, and it tells you what machine you're gonna be operating and the task, the training task you're supposed to do. And I made a joke, like everybody, we sat down when the instructor showed up, and I said, I'm on the loader again. And they look at me, and then everybody started laughing. I said, yeah, you only have the load. And it's getting chilly, and sunrise is happening later and later. Like today, I think it was like 7:05 or 7:10, and the instructor already told us. He said, go to the Dollarama and get a light that you can put on your hot hat, like a headlight, because we need to do pre-trip inspection, right? And it's getting darker and darker. Man, the winter is coming. So anyway, so my task today was to build a ramp. And I read the manual, in that Bible book. Also, we have some other materials there in the training room. I read they give you pictures, but they're not very, detailed. All I learned is that I'm supposed to make 4 piles of dirt, roughly 1 meter tall, 3 feet, right? And then, so 4, yeah, and then do another row in the front, and another row in the front. So it should be 3 piles, 12 total, right? 4 wide and 3 long. And of course, we have all radios, right? And so I started doing that. I think I put like 3 or 4 rows. And then the instructor came over. He showed me how to make it, kind of like create an angle, because they were all pretty much the same. And see, like, he's so smooth. This guy is like retired, probably my age, but he's so fast. And I said, could you please slow down? Could you make it slow? Because I don't understand how you're doing this. But it was so cool. And what?
Hi, how are you? Are you going in Red Deer?
No, I'm going into the back roads over here.
Where?
I'm not going to Red Deer, no.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, she's asking for a ride. But looks like a student. Looks decent, not a bum, But Red Deer is 30 clicks. 30 clicks north. And I'm not going that way. I can give her a ride to the next intersection where I'm turning, but it's not gonna help her. Like here, there's much more cars. Yeah, my neighbor also said no. So anyway, so he shows me one side. He did one side, and he says, you want me to continue? I said, no, I'll try to do the rest. But the left side, it was a bit, I didn't put the piles close together. And so there was some, like a pothole, So it's pretty complicated, actually, when you never did it before. First you have to put them close together, but then if you put them too close together, they'll start increasing in size, right? So instead of a 1 meter high ramp. You're gonna build 5-meter high ramp. So anyway, for some reason, I decided when the instructor left, I decided to put down more piles of dirt. Because I forgot about this rule that 3 rows. So I probably did like, I don't know, 5 more rows, but smaller ones. Maybe I put 2 buckets into each one, but still, like basically an hour later, this guy Tony, instructor, shows up and he's like, "What are you doing? Are you building a road?" And I said, "Well, I told you if I do something wrong, that's why we have radios, right? I thought, you would call me, but they're not paying attention. They're busy because today we had, I don't know, maybe 8 students. One guy was running the excavator, and he was loading a rock truck. There was a grader, dozer, like all machines were working today. So there were students everywhere, but we only have 2 instructors. We have Tony and Justin. And of course they have to fuel. If somebody low on fuel, they have to, so they're busy, right? And so he wasn't paying attention, and by the time he got back to me, I almost built the road, And then I tried to grade it or level it, and one of my wheels goes between the piles there, between these heaps, and the whole thing just goes at like 30-degree angle. So I got scared. I got out. That's when Tony showed up, and he helped me to fix it. But still, I didn't finish it. Like the end was okay. The end was like 1 meter. Oh, and then they wanted to create a berm, with like a little barrier, right? So let's say we're building a ramp for a rock truck to back on, and he says on the sides there should be like a short, basically a long pile of dirt, right? So kind of like a barrier, so they know where the ramp ends. And the way he did it, when there were four of these piles, right? So when he started, pushing material, he stepped a little bit, like a couple of feet away. And so when he started digging, that left kind of like very easy, that natural berm to the right of his blade, because he was going deeper. But basically, yeah, I screwed up, couldn't build the ramp. And then they say, and I said, I'll do it again sometime, because I still have another week after today. And I said, this will give one of your dozer guys something to do, right? And he says, no, all this stuff goes back to where you picked it up. I said, what, today? He says, yeah, by the end of today, you have to put all the soil that you brought here and put it back in the main pile. Man. And so basically, I started doing that. Probably took me like 2 hours. I don't know. Because, there was so many buckets of soil that I dumped in there. And so basically, instead of building a ramp, I was again practicing in stockpiling. Except now it was in reverse, right? I was picking up soil from this unfinished ramp, and I was putting it back. And actually, I became pretty good, at stockpiling. I started doing multiple things at once, like booming up, curling the bucket, changing gears, all at the same time, And it's only 3rd day, so I think I have a knack for it, And even the guy yesterday, Adam, remember I said Adam was driving the rock truck? When I was parking my car, he was there on his bike. And he also gave me a compliment. He says, oh, you were pretty good yesterday. I said, yeah, my biggest concern was not to hit you, not to hit the truck. And he says, yeah, you were pretty good. Interesting. And so, except now with the ramp, I think the problem was lack of instruction, right? That they don't have enough instructors. And, I'm pretty good at following instructions. Just tell me what to do, Just tell me, okay, we're doing 1 meter tall, 4 piles of dirt, and put 2 rows in between. and then call me when you're done. I'll show you how to do it, you know. So anyway, I'll do it again probably. I'll ask him to let me build the ramp. So now I have a rough idea how it was supposed to be done. Oh, and also at the end, so, and of course, you know, I had to make, I was doing like a dozer work, right? After I picked up everything, you know, you don't want to leave any dull points. So I use my blade as a dozer, you know. I became pretty good at that, just making, you know, basically leveling, right? And then this guy Justin came over. He says, and he asked me to clean up another area, like not the one where I was working, but there's a little road in there, and closer to that road there was a bunch of these kind of like waves of dirt, like very rough looking, right? And he says, can you please come from the road here and just clean up this, I don't know, maybe like 10 square meters, and he just just level it and put all the material in the main pile. And hey, I was able to do that. So instead of all these waves in the dirt, now it was level, nice and shiny. You know, I called him on the radio. I said, "You want to take a look?" I said, "It's all looks pretty good now." And he says, "Yeah, you can park the machine." And today was the grease day. Like for excavators, they grease them every day, but loaders, lucky me, it's only Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Of course, today's Wednesday. So I went to the shack, got some, you know, cloth, and cleaned up all the grease nipples before, like what they recommend, right? Because I was working in the dirt, so you don't wanna grease while there's dirt on top of these nipples, right? And so I got the rag, cleaned them up, and then got the gun from the shack and greased everything while the machine was still running. Because this older John Deere, they don't care about idling, because they say you must roughly, for 1 hour of work, you keep the machine idling for 1 minute before shutting it down. He says it's a pretty good rule. So let's say I use it for pretty much 5 hours. That means that I have to idle for 5 minutes. You know, easy. And this is, by the time I finished the grease, the time was up. So I got in, hit the stop button again. There's no key on this loader. It's just buttons on the panel on the right. And then I locked the door, went outside, and turned off the master switch. And that's it. I'm done for the day. So now it's time for me to go back, because now I have a class from 1 to 3, right? Yesterday we were doing quizzes on the dozer, and before that we did loader and we did rock truck. So I think today we're doing the excavator. You know, just the theory. The theory, you know, you basically, the way they do it is they make us read through the chapters, like 10, 15, 20 pages, depending on the machine, and then we watch a video on a big screen TV, and then we do a quiz. There's a section in our book where there's quizzes for all these lessons. We do a short quiz, maybe, I don't know, 8, 10 questions, and then we go through them together with the instructor, you know, asking us, you know, what answer did we put down. So usually we are done probably even not 2 hours. We usually done around like 2:30. And then with the machines, what they do, you know, after all these quizzes, we go out and we basically, you know, talk about the machine when it's in the field, and you have to wear a safety vest. So let's say they take us to the dozer, they show us parts. Okay, can you name the parts? How would you do the, you know, walk around? So it's funny, right? I only paid for the loader, but I'm getting the classroom training or theory on pretty much all the machines, you know, which is pretty good. So anyway, definitely feel some progress. I'm really enjoying the work, you know, the training. You know, at least it's not physical, right? You just sit inside and you can take breaks pretty much, you know, anytime. You can, you know, go to the washroom, stuff like that, right? There's no rush. Just, of course, next time I'm not gonna be rushing. Tomorrow I'll just take my time, make sure I understand the task. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but again, it's gonna be another practical task with a loader. And today I was still on John Deere because Volvo, the other one, is running, but today we had this other student, Andy, also doing the loader, so they gave Volvo to him, and everybody says Volvo is actually better than this one because the boom is bigger, and for one, Volvo is better for loading the rock truck because the boom can go, you know, higher. So anyway, like I'm telling you, it's pretty cool. I'm loving it. But so far, the bad part is that so far I didn't have any luck, or the correct way of putting it, I haven't had any luck with employers, right? I keep sending my resume all over the place, applying, but so far I don't have any interest, and they don't even know my age, right? Like on the resume, you don't put your date of birth or anything, just my name and then my basically my experience, right? And I'm guessing that's the big stumbling block because they all want experienced people. So hopefully by the end of the school, maybe some employees will show up. Like the office lady said, sometimes, you know, employees actually come to school and they do like a small, like, you know, job fair, right? And actually they do hire newbies at the school. So I hope that will happen. Anyway, all right, back to the classroom. Tomorrow is another exciting day with the machine. Thanks for watching.